If you're thinking of starting an online business, then I want to share with you 4 tips to help you get started. In this episode, I want to break down a couple of things that have helped me, realizations, thought processes, and to put you on the right track. The first tip or key thought that I want to share with you today is, on the internet, we can be whoever we want to be. Now, we may have seen things online and all these coaches and gurus, it's like, you have to be yourself, you have to be on camera, you have to create this content, you have to put yourself in front of an audience. And while there are certain businesses that the approach of putting yourself out there is useful for, it doesn't have to be that way. I've grown up in a world playing video games online where everybody would hide behind an alias or a nickname. You may never know who it was you were talking to, or who you were playing with, or who you were playing against. And that's still true. There are people who create personas for themselves online. YouTubers do it, content creators do it. And if we think about the real world, actors do it as well. They get into character. And whether it's, a bad guy for one film, a good guy for another film, maybe it's the voice of a creature, they each time they take on a different persona, a different character. And so we don't necessarily have to be ourselves online if we don't want to. We can create a character for ourselves and present ourselves in a different way. Or we can actually hide behind the screen. I've seen stories of people who are selling templates and workbooks and books on Amazon. They're not in front of the camera. They're not presenting themselves to an audience. So this first tip is about shifting that mindset. You don't have to present yourself front and center if you don't want to. Yes, I'm doing it because that's a decision that I've made. The coaching that I'm focusing on, the courses, the books, a lot of it is coming out of my head. But you don't have to build your business that way if you don't want to. You can create those tools and those assets and those resources, create a brand, an identity that is not you. And you can still put your products, your services out into the marketplace, encourage people to buy them, and it means that you don't have to get in front of camera or be present and have people see you or interact with people if you don't want to. That's a choice for you to make. So that's the first tip or key thought that I wanted to share with you. You can be anybody, but you can also hide if you don't want to be front and center. The second tip actually leads on from this, and it's you can sell anything online. So not only can you be anybody, but you can sell anything. You may be in a world where you see people selling books and courses and coaching, but people sell on eBay all the time. I've had conversations with people who sell vintage clothes on eBay. That is their business, and they do quite well from it. There are people who create the tools and the templates, their resources and support tools for other people and other businesses, and that's all they do. They just focus on creating those resources and sell them. There are people who sell survival equipment, knitting equipment, fishing equipment. There are all sorts of opportunities online. You can literally sell anything. Yes, it can be physical products, it can be digital products, it could be recordings of things, it could be just audio recordings. There is an opportunity there for you. So before you jump in and say, okay, this is what I want to do, this is who I'm going to be or how I'm going to present myself, or not present yourself, depending on what you choose, you can also spend that time thinking about what is it that you want to sell? Who are you looking to support? Maybe it is just a little widget for an industry that you're interested in. Maybe it is the fishing or the knitting or, I don't know, something random. Maybe it's custom sneakers. Whatever it is, you may be able to create a business around that. You can literally sell anything online. So that's the second tip or thought that I want to give you as you start this journey of creating an online business. The third one then is there are millions, if not billions, of people online. So it's not a question of, are there enough people for what you're selling? There absolutely are. It's just about finding them. So if you can take that mindset that says, I know there are people out here, I just need to find a way to reach them and engage them, then you will be able to continue building your business. The people who struggle are those who try one thing, don't see any success, and go, nobody wants what it is that I'm selling or what my business is offering or how I help people, and then they stop. In reality, what it means is that just wasn't the right place. Maybe the people that you are trying to sell to or serve were not in that location. Maybe it was the wrong platform. Maybe it was the wrong time of year. Maybe it was the wrong message. The key thought is that there are plenty of people online who want what you have or what you are offering. So it's about staying in the game and finding those places. It may be a short journey, it may be a long journey, but that is part of the game that we play as entrepreneurs. We're trying to build something from nothing. Sometimes there will be bits that come easy. Other times we have to work at it, and that's certainly an experience that I've had over the years. Some things absolutely fell into place really nicely. Others have been a slog, and I've had to keep going. And I used to do monthly reports on streaming platforms and the viewership because of the industry that I was working in, and sometimes I get lots of people downloading them, other times no interest, and I would be then like, right, where are these people that I'm trying to support? Who am I trying to interact with? Who are my ideal clients? Are they marketing people? Okay, marketing managers, marketing directors, where do they go? Maybe it's the conferences, maybe it's the newsletters. Okay, how can I get these reports into their hands? So I've constantly had to do that exercise of, where are the people? And then I found somewhere and I've been able to tap into them. So it's not a case of nobody wants your stuff. There will always be plenty of people online looking for what it is that you can offer. The key thing is about finding where they are and then engaging with them. So that's the third tip. And the fourth one, it's something we often fear, is technology. Technology is constantly changing, but we can use it to our advantage. We can start really simply. Maybe we message people. Maybe we reach out into groups and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. We can reach out to people in our network. Maybe it's friends on Facebook. Maybe it's people who already follow us on Instagram. We can start simply. We don't need all of the tools and the platforms and the bells and the whistles and getting ourselves weighed down thinking about all of the technology that we may need. Over time, absolutely, we may get to that, but we don't have to start that way. We can start really simply. And depending on what it is that you are offering, whether it's a product, a service, and who you are catering to, maybe you don't need any of that stuff. If you are writing a book, maybe it is, I write it in Word. It's a Word document and I type that out. Maybe I then get somebody to help me with some of the formatting. Maybe I get somebody to help me upload it onto Amazon and do the description and things like that. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's all I do to get started and say I now have a book on Amazon. Maybe if you're selling on eBay or on Etsy, you find some things, you buy them, make some tweaks to them, relist them, create a storefront. And maybe the only other thing then that you need is an email so that people can contact you and you may be able to communicate with them. From there, you may build that list and that community, but it doesn't have to be complex to get started. There's a lady who asked me about recording videos. What equipment do I need? Microphone, camera, all that sort of stuff. And it's like, you could just do it on your phone. Your phone probably has good enough quality camera to record footage and just post it straight away. You've probably got the apps on your phone already to record and go into those apps and post straight away. We often hold ourselves back because we think everything is complex. We think we need lots of technology and bits fitting together to create the perfect structure before we go and do something. And it's very rarely the case. We don't need all of that technology to get started. There's a couple of thoughts there. I've gone through 4. Obviously, there are more that I can touch on. But the goal here is to say, if you are thinking of setting up your own online business, spend a little time thinking about these things. Who are you going to be or not be? How are you going to present yourself? Maybe it is you hide behind the screen and you create a nameless and faceless business, and you just create an identity and a brand and a basic name, and that's it, because of the service or the products that you want to put into the marketplace. Maybe you spend that time thinking about what it is that you are going to offer. Maybe it's tools and resources. Maybe it's physical goods. Maybe it's an ebook or a book on Amazon. Maybe you're creating a small store on Etsy. There are lots of opportunities in the online space. You don't need all of the technology, and there are plenty of people out there who will be interested in what you have to say, what you have to offer. It's just about finding them. So don't be afraid of taking that leap. Just keep an open mind that says, it may not happen in the first 30 minutes. It may take a while to build, but if you are committed to building the business that you want, building the freedom that you want, it is possible to do it online. We can now reach more people around the world than ever before. We can share information more easily. We can get products from A to B more easily. Those opportunities are there for you. So I encourage you to spend that time thinking about exactly the type of business that works for you. You don't have to follow all of the trends, all of the suggestions from the gurus and the coaches and what you see in the press. It's a marketplace where you can do anything, sell anything to anyone, anywhere. Hey, Philip here. Just wanted to jump in quickly and say, if you've enjoyed this video or you've listened to it and you want more, I invite you to come and join my community. Join the mailing list. I send out daily emails, thoughts about life and transformation and building online businesses and building audiences and all that sort of good stuff. Some of it based on the work that I'm doing myself in my own business and in my own life. So if you want to join that, jump over to my website. There is a link in the description, and then you'll be able to get those daily emails, thoughts, opinions, links to some useful content, and you'll be welcomed as a member of my community. I look forward to seeing you on the list and getting to know you better.